friends, let us begin with a few questions. Do you think that you're emotional? Do you think that all emotions are bad? Do you think it is civilized to hide emotions? Now, let us look back to it. When I say, are you emotional? We usually say, no, I'm balanced, as if being emotional is bad. Do you think that hiding emotions makes you civilized? That is how we have been brought up. Don't cry before others. Don't say bad things to others. Hide your anger. We have grown up with these kind of virtues. So, are emotions really that bad? It has been argued in the past that emotions are irrational. People become impulsive and that leads to poor productivity. And hence, we should try to be emotionless on the job. So you find people on the counters, wherever the customer relationship is there, and they always greet you with a smiling face. Do you really think that they are all happy to see you? Think about it. So we have a lot of challenges around when we talk about emotions. If we talk about, say, intelligence quotient of an individual, yes, it is necessary to some extent. But these days, IQ is becoming a little less important as compared to emotional quotient. Because over the period of time, you have to work with people and you cannot really be successful working in teams unless your EQ is good. So let us recall an experience of our day's job. So you spend the whole day in the office, or as a student you spend the whole day in the institute or a school, and you come back home. When you come back home, the way you react to the people around is actually quite intense. It is all based on your whole day's experience. So your whole day has been good, your reactions at home are very nice. But vice versa, if it has been bad, you tend to have bad sharing at the end of the day. So we need to understand this. We usually say that the weather is good. It's going to lighten up our moods. Have a chocolate. Your moods are better. So there is a difference between emotions and moods when we talk about. Emotions are intense over a period of time and moods are temporary. So when we say that emotions are intense, we mean to say that there are some things that are affecting my emotions because there is depth to it. The first thing that we understand is our own personality. If my personality is outgoing, probably I will ignore what others are saying, so I'm not affected by others. Again, it depends on the context, the people around me. So if people around me are not worried, are not affected by what is happening, the same thing is likely to happen to me. So if others are cool and calm, probably I'm also going to be cool and calm. So affective events theory talks about your own personality, your context in which you are into. Again, we have an understanding that we all undergo emotional labor. We have some emotions that are felt, but we display something else. Like I said, wherever you have connectivity to the customers, wherever there is public relations to be maintained, we always undergo emotional labor, which if goes unchecked can lead to burnouts. Because what happens is, try laughing when you are actually crying from inside. If you're very angry and still you're controlling your anger and you're still smiling before the customer. So these are the events when it becomes too pressurized on yourself. So emotionally pressurizing self is also understood as emotional labor. So let us now understand how EQ can be understood. So EQ is understood in the form of 7 parameters. The first one is self-awareness, where we say that, are you aware of yourself? Do you know what your acceptability of emotions is? How much positive, how much negative are you? Do you know how much you can tolerate? How much anger that you can sustain? What is your trigger point? The moment we are aware of it, we accept and we try to control the situations. So that happens to be the first parameter. The second parameter is emotional resilience. We can understand it this way that I'm having a heated argument with my colleague, right? And after 10 minutes of heated arguments, I just have to come back home and talk to my child. Do you think that I'll pass on the same anger to my child? No. So, how fast I come back to my original state of affairs, my original state of mind, is my emotional resilience. How fast I come back to the same situation is important to me. So, that defines the level of emotional intelligence that you have. The next thing that we talk about is motivation. The more motivated you are, you're likely to have a more tolerance, more capacity to bear whatever is going around. Because you understand your aim in life, you know what exactly you came for, and what is happening is irrelevant. The next parameter is sensitivity. Do I hear to what my friends have to tell me? Do I hear my employees, my friends, my juniors, my seniors before I actually take up a call? If I'm listening to them, I'm trying to understand their thought process. In fact, I'm trying to have some empathy with them. And so, this helps me in controlling the situations in the coming times. And hence, it becomes important to me as far as my emotions are concerned. The next parameter is influence. So, the more I am in a position to influence others, the more strong I feel I am emotionally. There is less likelihood of any negative thing happening to you. So, negative emotions are likely to be not there. A whole lot of positive emotions can be seen all around. The next parameter is intuitiveness, wherein I actually fall back on my old experiences and try to understand how the likely situation is going to be. So, since I'm able to recall all my past experiences, I feel that I am in a better control of the situation. The next parameter that we talk about is consciousness, where I say that am I proceeding in a standard operating procedure or something that is pre-planned? Because if it is pre-planned, there is less likelihood of getting into some other negative emotions. Because I know how I'm proceeding, what is important to me, how the things are likely to be. I have taken a lot of pros and cons in mind before starting the job. So, am I structured? Being structured helps me keep myself in composed form. So, we talk about 7 parameters while talking about emotional intelligence. Try to check where you stand on these parameters. The higher it is, you're better off as far as EI is concerned. So, anywhere and everywhere I go, I find that EQ is very important. Because as long as we work in teams, we are working together, EQ will always be important. Happy learning.